This is Samantha from As I Grow Up, and this is our week 12 homeschool update. And it's been a great week. I know I'm late putting this up. It's just trying to find the time to get it all done. But this week we took 2 field trips, and we still managed to stay on track, which is amazing. So first off, I'll talk about our field trips. Our first field trip was to a working llama farm, and it was so great. The lady took the time and told the kids everything that's involved when it comes to farming with llamas and things like that, and they learned a lot. She took them and showed them their medical room where they give birth, things like that. They got to interact with the llamas and pet the llamas and play with, check the babies out. They also had other farm animals as well. So this was really neat. Wonderful learning experience. The lady also on her website has a very educational website, and she gave me the link to that so that Davis can go on and research more about the different topics and do a paper on it if we so choose. So that was really great. The second field trip was one that we went because we were curious. It was to a place called Expedition Bigfoot. Now, I for one personally don't believe that Bigfoot exists, but the museum was really neat, had all kinds of stuff in it. It was mostly it was filled with things that were donated by other people who search and look for Bigfoot. So it was neat. You know, the kids got to wear little headphones, and they got to hear the different sounds that have been recorded. That's, you know, the Bigfoot sounds and the noises they make, and they got to hear stories and watch a movie. So they got to do all of that. So that was neat. It piqued their interest and curiosity. So we are going to probably, on down the road, we'll do some study on that as well. So that's the 2 field trips we had this week. Next week, I think we have one coming up, but that was this week's field trips. We also changed Davis's geography, and he originally was using the Evan Moore geography for 4th grade, and he wasn't really getting a lot out of it, as I had mentioned in an earlier video, and so we changed it, and we decided to do master books. And we have quite a few master books, and we love them. And so we decided to do the master books geography. I actually reviewed this a couple years back. I took the curriculum, I read it, I did all this, and it was great. So I kind of tucked it on the shelves until Davis was old enough, because I think it starts at 4th grade. And so with that, we pulled that out and started on it, and you do the first book of the series is The Passport to the World, and it is so neat because in this they can go around the world and they do a passport, and for each location they go, they take their little passport, and for each place we visit they stamp it. And so we've been doing this, and we've been having a lot of fun with that. And so that is that. So far, they visited Australia, and France was today. The USA, we talked about the Cherokee Indians. And so we've just been Netherlands and all these places. So it's really neat. And so that's the first book. So when we finish this book, then we'll go on and do a second half will be this book. And so this book's really neat too. So that is going to be our geography now, and so far we're loving it. You do a study, and then you follow that study up like Armenian. So we do the study, and then we have a worksheet, and we do the worksheet, and then on the back it's got like a recipe or an activity or something like that that has to do with where we studied. And so we do that, and it's just really fun. So this was a great switch. It was more hands-on, more learning, instead of just doing work. Davis has also finished some of his, we're still in Civil War with him, loving it. We are still doing our little pockets. I love these things. So we are working through this along with our other books. He read another Abraham Lincoln book, And then this week we're going to be talking about Harriet Tubman and things like that, so I'll have books on that. And we also are going to be watching a movie on Harriet Tubman, so this is really neat. So we're going to be adding additional studies with that along with this. And I also have some Civil War books, and then this is a book I'm tossing in this week as well, The Black Soldiers in the Civil War. So it's going to go really well with this coming week. So we did that this past week, and he did, basically his was pretty simple this week. He just did the difference between the North and the South there and did that. We had a word scramble, a word search, and then of course he had the map where he colored in the Confederate Union States and the territories. So we had that to do. So we did all that. And that was his history. And like I said, we love it. We've slowed down in our math. We've hit division. And being that he has already struggled with multiplication, we're kind of taking it slow because we all know that unless you know your multiplication facts, you're not going to be able to do your division because you have to know these equations. And so he has a hard time with math anyway. He really struggles. And when we got into division, the whole fear of math started coming back. So we're kind of taking our time. I've got some multiplication fact cards we're doing. I've just handwritten them for now. He is wanting me to make some Minecraft ones because he loves Minecraft. And now that our month has slowed down, this month will be much slower than last month. So hopefully I'll be able to recreate those for him. So that is my goal this month, is to make him his multiplication and division cards with the Minecraft stuff. So that's my goal this month. If I do get those done, I'll be sure to share those with you guys because I'll probably put them up as a free link anyway. Printable, so I'll have those available. But anyway, that is his stuff. And spelling is doing great. Not gonna lie, he has a hard time with spelling as well, but he's doing awesome with it. He has made 100 on the past 2 tests, which is an improvement. And we have just been doing different techniques to learn these words, and he's doing really great with those. So that's his. I mean, basically, he's doing great in everything else. His science, he's now doing science with Luke. We have pushed the botany aside, so he's doing that. But it's all great. Luke, this week, has done well. He has started he's went from addition to subtraction back to addition. And he is now learning his addition 8 facts. So he's learning those math facts with the number 8. And those are doing great. And he is just going right through it. So no problems. He started doing his temperature in his math, temperature and fractions, and then the addition. So that's going well. He's finished with his monies, and he knows his monies. And then in his history, he is doing the ancient civilization. And this past week we studied China, so we watched videos on the Great Wall of China, and we did some other videos, YouTube videos on China. We also pulled numerous books. One of the books that we've been reading is Little Pear. I love Little Pear. I did it a couple of years ago with Davis, and it's great. Obviously, we can't finish it in a week to go along with it, but it is there, and we love it, and it's just such a fun book. So there's that. And then in his history, he made, and he's not letting me forget this, I didn't have red construction paper, and I'm like, just use the black. It's okay. It's all good. Just, this is the only color I had left. I was out and had to order them because I can't find those big 12 by 18 sheets around here. So I had to order them from Amazon, and Prime is great, but it can't get it here overnight. So, well, it could, but anyway. So he's, after he does this, he's watching a video and about the parades, and black symbolizes death, and he's, well, you had me use black. So I told him that we'll pretend that that's all we had. So we'll pretend it's red, but it was black. So, he did things like that, and he made his little puppets. So we got that. And then a really neat thing he got to do, and we watched a video on this as well, was counting in Chinese. So, it told us how to pronounce them down here. And it told us the number, and of course this is how to write it. But I was afraid I wasn't pronouncing it, even though some of these were, it tells you how to pronounce it. I was just going to make sure I was doing it right. And so we watched a video numerous times, and Davis loved this. Davis is like picking up on the Chinese language, so he's doing really great with that. So we did that. So that was our history this month, but it's been a great, week. It's been a great week. So those were our things. We did the 2 field trips, and then our history's on hand. As far as everything else goes, it's going great. Everything is right where it should be. We have our days are falling together. They should be by the 12th, 13th week. We're on the 13th. Between 12th or 13th, I'll have to look at my calendar. I'm thinking 12th because Luke's spelling says the 12th week, so it's got to be the 12th week we're on. But it's amazing it's taken us this long for it to finally start going the way it needs to go. And so we figured out our Fridays and how we're going to do our Fridays. And instead of doing just an all work day on Friday, Friday is our day that we're doing activities and projects that are due through the week. We're also, that's our day to take our spelling test as well, if there's any of that. And we usually end our week with our spelling test. But on top of that, if we have any science or history or anything like that, extracurricular, that's when we do our activities. And so it's just kind of made Friday fun, and we're still learning. That is it. That is our week, and it's just been great. So thank you so much for taking time to watch us.